Good morning, fourth grade. So I want you to look at this number. What number is that? You are correct. That is the number 1. It is just the number 1 sitting there all lonely in the ones place. Here's a little counter that shows us 1. Okay, what if I moved this one digit to the tens place? So if I want this to be in the tens place, I would have to put a 0 in the ones place. Okay, so now this 1 is in the tens place. So I would need 1, 2, 3, 10 to represent this little 1 that just got moved to the ones place. You might say that this 1 just got 10 times greater, right? We have this 1. Now we have this 1 10 times. Okay. What if I replace these 10 ones with this little 10 counter instead? Okay. Now I'm going to do something else kind of crazy. Are you ready? I'm going to move that 1. Now instead of putting it in the tens place, I'm going to put it in the hundreds place. So then to do that, I would need to put a 0 in the tens place, and I would need to put a 0 in the ones place. Okay, so now in order to move this little 10 to now make 100, I would have to do 10, 20, 30, 40,
50, 60, 70, 80,
90, 100. Okay, so now this number, you might say, it just got 10 times greater. I had 110. Now I have this 110 10 times, and that made 100. Okay, what if I replace this with a 100 counter? Now, what do you think I'm going to do next? Well, if you said bump that 1 to the next place to the left, that's right. I'm going to now put that 1 in the thousands place. So to do that, I would have to put a 0 in the hundreds place, and I'd have to put a 0 in the tens place, and I'd have to put a 0 in the ones place. Okay, so now I don't just have 100, I have 1,000. So 100, 200,
300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800,
900, 1,000. What happened to that 100 when I moved it one place over to the left? You might say it just got 10 times greater. 100 10 times equals 1,000. Do you think we could keep going with this pattern? Probably. Let's try it one more time, because I know you guys are loving this right now. Okay. If I replace all of these with a, what's the place next to the 10,000s or the 1,000? Oh, I just spoiled it. If I replace that with 1,000, and then I move that one digit to the 10,000s place, so now we're in the 10,000s place, what do you think is going to happen to this 1,000? Hopefully you said it's going to get 10 times greater? Let's see.
I moved 1 from the thousands place to the 10,000, so 10 of these should equal 10,000. 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, 6,000, 7,000, 8,000.
9,000, 10,000. Wow, would you look at that? Our prediction was correct. So look at this place value chart with me. If I have the number 3, when I do 3 times 10, and I make that 3 10 times greater, that 3 is going to move from the ones place to the tens place. 3 times 10 equals 30. Now if I take that 30, and let's say I want to make that 30 10 times bigger, 30 times 10 would become 300. And I bet you can predict what I'm going to do next. If I take the number 300 and I make it 10 times greater, what is it going to become? That's right. And it'll move again another place over, and it'll become 3,000. Anytime a number moves a place to the left, it gets 10 times greater. Now, I bet you're wondering if this also happens when we include decimals. So if we add our decimals to this place value chart, so here's our ones place, so we know our decimal always comes after our ones place. And then we have our tenths place. And then we have our hundredths place. Let's think about this. If I have 1/100th and I want to make it 10 times greater, so 0 and 1/100th times 10. Okay, so I'm going to make this 10 times greater, so 1, 2, 100 3 times, 4,
5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
10. Okay, what do we know about this? If I have 10 hundredths, what does that equal to? Well, 10 hundredths is equal to 1/10. So if I have a 1 in the hundredths place, so I'd have to have a 0 here to show that it's in the hundredths place. If I multiply it by 10, it becomes 10 times greater. So now it moves from 100th to 1/10. Okay, what about with a tenth? What if I want to make a tenth 10 times greater? So 100 times 10 equals 1/10. 1/10 times 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 tenths would equal now 1/2. Notice it's moving again one place over. Anytime, whether it's decimals or whole numbers, anytime we move a digit to the left, it becomes 10 times greater. So if I have this problem I'm trying to solve, 3 times 10, we know this is a 3 in the ones place. When I multiply it by 10, it's going to move to the next place over. So 3 in the ones is going to move to the tens place. Okay, if I have 7 and I multiply it by 10, a 7 in the ones place is going to move one place to the left, so it's going to become 7D. Okay, what if I have the number 15 and I multiply that by 10? Okay, so this number is going to get 10 times greater. So right now I have a 1 in the tens place and I have a 5 in the ones place. Both of those numbers are going to move one place to the left. So if I have a 1 in the tens place and I have a 5 in the ones place, 15, if it's going to get 10 times greater, this 1 is going to move to the hundreds place. This 5 is going to move to the tens place. Nothing will be left in the ones place. And our new number is 150. So 15 times 10 is 150. I'm kind of seeing a small pattern here. So 3 times 10, I see that 0, and I see that 0 here. 7 times 10, I see a 0, 0. 15 times 10, I see a 0, I see a 0. Okay, let's give you a really tricky one. Are you ready? If I gave you the number 420 and I multiplied it by 10, what would be the answer? I want you to pause and see if you can solve this first, and then hit play when you're ready to see if you did it correctly or not. Okay, I know that I have 420, so I have 420, 0 is in the ones place, 2 is in the tens place, 4 is in the hundreds place. So if I multiply that by 10, this whole number is going to get 10 times bigger. So all of these digits are going to move one place to the left. So this 4 is going to become 4,000. This 2 is going to become 200. This 0 is going to become a 0 in the tens place. And nothing's left here, so we will have to add a second 0. So this would equal 4,200. Notice how all the places shifted one space to the left. Here is a little bit differently. I noticed 420 times 10. 420, see that extra 0 right there. So just by adding a 0 at the end of those numbers, I'm shifting the numbers over one place, therefore making them 10 times greater. You're going to see this pattern in your work today as well, so make sure you recognize when it's there because it will help you multiply really, really quickly. All right, you guys, I will talk to you later.